Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam, and what we're going to do in this video, bet some early baseball for tomorrow. I found a couple plays that I think are really, really good for tomorrow's betting slate. I love locking in these early bets, getting and taking advantage of the early lines, early pricing discrepancies. I think is really good. Before I get into it, one thing that I do want to talk about is just the OddsJam Discord. This is something that we recently have launched, maybe a little bit over a week ago, and we're actually in the middle of a sale for it. So if you want, between now and football season, the first 100 customers get 66% off, which is an insane discount. But we're running this until football season, getting people, as many people as hyped up as into the Discord as possible for football season, when it's just going to be an insane betting. 6 months during football season. The promo code is in the description of this video. It is OJ66. The Discord, while there is also a bunch of free stuff as well, if you are so inclined for that. Free picks where we pick, it's exactly what it sounds like. We post our free picks. The paid stuff is where you can get the discount on the expert picks specifically. We are tracking everything, of course, in this spreadsheet here. Have had a little bit of a rough stretch recently, but within the past day has been pretty good. I've been locking in some of my bets, and it's gone pretty well recently. Everything here, of course, is being tracked. We're up about, like 7 units so far, and that's after a rough stretch between like the 21st and the 22nd was pretty rough, but we're on the swing of things, and we are tracking it, which I think is incredibly important. So if you do want to take advantage of this promo code that we're offering, again, it's for the first 100 users. It is promo code OJ66. Just enter that as you're signing up for the Discord. Signing up is pretty easy. You just need to click this. There's a link here you can click. You can click here in the upgrade as well. But regardless, in general, the kind of logic behind the Discord is we understand not everybody has the time to go through and line shop and check all the markets using the OddsJam positive EV page to find the most profitable bets. So we figured, why not provide a service where we're pulling our favorite bets and we're putting them into a Discord so that you guys can tail them. You don't have to think about it. You can just see our bets. We're literally putting the unit size, the bet that we're placing, sometimes the sports book, depending on what everything's looking like there. So definitely recommend joining the Discord, locking in, hopping in on these sharp bets. But regardless, let's bet some baseball. So there are a couple plays here that I liked. So of course, everything that I found, I'm looking at the OddsJam positive expected value page. And there are 2 totals that I think have a ton of value. Number one, we're looking at the over in the Brewers versus Rockies game, over 7.5. Incredibly juiced at -160, but it is positive expected value of just under 2% and only 22 cents in market with. And then the next play that I like a lot, I'm actually looking at the Cubs total runs under 10.5, only 14 cents in market with here, which is really, really tight. So I have both of them up on BetMGM. I'm going to go ahead and lock these in. 3 units on the Cubs versus Phillies, 4 units on the Rockies versus Brewers. Let's place these bets. $350 total, a 3-unit and a 4-unit play. Both have been locked in, and let's chat about it. So number one, we're looking at the Rockies versus Brewers. This is just the first game that the first one that's up here. So the odds at -160 are pretty juicy. Generally, anything pretty much, I don't like to go above -200, but -160 is still within range if it's a good play. And in this case, it really is. So the OddsJam line prices this at -182, with the VIG removed is priced at essentially -168. So that gap between the -168 and the -160, that is what has positive expected value associated with this. So So everybody knows this OddsJam line here is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, pulled from the sharpest line-making sportsbook in the world. These odds here are going to be viewed as quote-unquote the true line of what a market should truly be priced at. So anywhere in which we're getting more favorable odds than the no VIG line of the OddsJam line is going to have positive expected value associated with it. This bet really should be priced at -168, but it's actually priced at -160, and that gap is what has positive expected value associated with it. This one being at 22 cents in market width is perfect. It's well within range. Market width, it's pretty easy. It literally just calculates the difference between these 2 numbers. So 82 minus 60 equals 22, well within range there. Basically, the logic behind this is the closer these 2 numbers are together, we kind of think the more confident in what OddsJam is pricing the lines at. So the closer the number equals more confidence. 25 and below is well within range in terms of market width and for confidence there that way. This 1.82% can be viewed as your percent profit margin, can also be viewed as the edge you hold over the sportsbook when you are positive expected value betting. Understand that this number 1.82% is pretty low, but don't get discouraged because really what it comes down to is just placing multiple positive expected value bets and watching your profit rise over time, right? It's like the good version of the stock market. There's some ups, some downs, but generally you're going in the right trajectory. You're going up. And that's exactly what positive expected value does. So basically, if you're betting $100 on this play, you could figure to profit $1.82. I put 200 on it. I put 4 units on it. So for me, I could figure to make about $3.60 on this play. Not breaking the bank by any means on one specific play, but you need to keep in mind that this is just one play. And then B, the bet will be settled tomorrow. So I'll go to bed tomorrow realizing this profit. Now, of course, if the bet wins, I get all my profit. If it loses, I lose all my risk. But you'd be surprised that over time, your expected profit will start to equal your actual profit. That's kind of how positive expected value betting works. So I locked it in for $200. Again, this one is a 4-unit play. And based on the handicapping I did, number one, just 2 good hitting teams, 2 not great pitchers. Eric Lauer, 3.64 ERA is okay. Chad Kuhl for the Rockies, a little bit worse at 4.11. And just looking at the batting for these 2 teams, the Rockies score the 2nd most runs in the entire MLB. And I understand runs isn't necessarily perfect, but if you just want to go pretty much no matter what stat you look at, these teams are kind of around the top 10. So if we look at OPS, the Rockies are 7th, the Brewers are 11th. If we look at slugging percentage, the Rockies are 10th, the Brewers are 9th. So pretty much, no matter how you slice it, 2 good hitting teams in a pitcher's park in Milwaukee, 2 not so great pitchers, and we're getting it at such a low total at 7.5. So obviously we had to sell a couple runs in this case to get the number at 7.5. Buy a couple runs. That's why the odds are at -160. But that's where the positive expected value play is. And then I also love just comparing all the other books. The OddsJam line, again, -182. FanDuel has this for even worse odds at -196. So really this bet this market should be priced closer to like -200 than it is at what we got it at -160. So despite being extra juiced, it still really is a great bet, a good value. So that's going to be the first one. Now let me just add this to my bet tracker. $200. The OddsJam bet tracker is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It tracks your bets. So sports betting, it's important to understand whether you're profitable or not, and if so, how profitable you are and where you're profitable. And the OddsJam bet tracker, it's the best bet tracker on the market, and it's also completely free. So if you want to go check it out, you can just go to oddsjam.com, bet tracker bets, and it shows all the bets that you have. It marks them as green or red in terms of beating the closing line or not. Green is good, red is bad, kind of how that works. And then it also shows you your total profit over time. If you want to filter that by day, by week, by month, profit by sport, profit by bet type, by sportsbook, ROI, percent of the time you beat the closing line. And these are based on the OddsJam no big odds. And then you want to see how much you have sweat, how much you have pending out there, how much you have to sweat tonight, you can as well. So in general, the OddsJam bet tracker, it's really helpful. So I definitely recommend checking that out. And then the second play that I have, we're actually looking at the under in the Cubs versus Phillies game. So there's a couple different trains of thought. So it looks like there's an under 10.5 and under 11.5. I decided to take 11.5 just because it's a tighter market at 14 cents. So in a situation where there are multiple bets for the same game, I choose to opt for the tightest market. There's a bunch of different strategies out there. Some people just take both, say no matter what, if it's positive expected value, I'm taking them. Some people take the one with the higher percent EV, so 1.42 versus 1.27 is another option. There's not one option, one strategy that's better than the other. For me, I'm a little more risk averse when it comes to just life in general, especially sports betting. So I just go with the tightest market. But again, none of those strategies that I talked about are incorrect. There's no bad strategy. And the logic behind this one, so obviously it's positive EV. OddsJam line has it at -126 with the VIG removed, priced at -118. Only 14 cents in market width, which as I mentioned is a really tight market. And we are betting it at -115 on BetMGM. 1.27% expected value. That's the edge that I hold over BetMGM with this bet. It's a 3-unit play, so I put 150 on it. Cubs, Phillies, under 10.5 runs, -115. And the Phillies have really just been struggling at the plate with Bryce Harper hurt. So I'm really just fading these two offenses. Like the Cubs they're 14th. The Phillies, I mean, they're 7th in slugging percentage, but really with Bryce Harper out, they've really been struggling. So that's kind of the logic behind why I ended up going with the under in this game. So that's going to be it. Those are going to be my 2 bets. Let me just add this one to my bet tracker as well. 150. And now that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're tailing. I would love to hear it. But those are going to be my 2 bets, and that's going to be it for tomorrow's betting slate. So I appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.